live? Hello everyone! It's been a while since I've done anything like this. The voice in my head is also here, but you can't hear him. I had found a way to actually negate that and actually be able to stream my Xbox games to my laptop so I can actually stream it on OBS, but my trial run of that earlier on today while I was playing Metal Gear Solid 5 didn't really work out so well, so I decided against that. I decided against it for this run and just go back to keep to the format I was using before. As my voice just said to me, but you can't hear, it'll just require a bit more practice. But anyway, Dragon Age 2. Not quite as good as Dragon Age 1 in my opinion. I mean, everyone's opinion. I mean, a lot of people are not a fan of this game. I, on the other hand, I mean, it's not a candle on Dragon Age Origins, let's be real, but I think it's still a fine enough game given the time crunch these guys had. They only had No, I'm not talking about just any time crunch. The development of this game is notorious. The developers at BioWare by EA were only given 14 months by EA to get this game out. This is as everyone can attest to when playing a BioWare game, this is the first game where people really felt the presence of EA on BioWare, pretty much. Where, with all the issues that EA and BioWare have had for a while, this is the first game in that where you actually could feel it. But I still think it's a good game. Flawed, very flawed, of course, but I do like it. I wish it could have been better like everyone else does, but it's fine for what it is. I know, but one saving grace in it, in my opinion, is it does introduce the best character in the entire series. So there's that. Unfortunately, as you can see, voice in my head and everyone watching at home, unlike in Origins where you get 3 different races and 6 different origin stories, in this game they've trimmed it down a lot to male or female. You're always going to be a human, and the only real choice you have is gender or class. We played as a female warrior dwarven noble last time. Just to keep mixing things up, there's one subclass in this game that I have not tried yet. I have played two-handed and sword and board warrior. I've played mage, and I've played archery rogue. I haven't played a dual-wielding rogue yet, so I'll be trying that for the first time live on stream. I'll be playing a male hawk. I mean, I always play female hawk because I think that's the best fit in my headcanon, but it's been a while since I've played a male hawk, and I just feel like playing a male this time round, so there we go. We will be playing as my preferred class in these sort of fantasy games, a rogue.
Had gentler invitations.
I am Cassandra Pentecost, Seeker of the Chantry.
And just, what are you seeking?
The champion.
Which one?
You know exactly why I'm here! Time to start talking, dwarf. They tell me you're good at it.
What do you want to know?
Everything. Start at the beginning.
A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away. Welcome to Dragon Age 2, officially. As you can tell, the graphics are both an upgrade and a downgrade at the same time, if you think about it. The Darkspawn do look cleaner, but they don't have that intimidation factor that they had in the first game.
Scouts. We will have to fight them sooner or later.
Then we make our stand here. Prepare yourself.
Second change. You have a voice. Your character has now got a voice. For better or worse, I'll leave it up to you.
We can't keep this up forever.
Perhaps we'll be lucky and they'll run out of Darkspawn.
Here they come. Shall I deal with them?
Nice. I think you know what button to press here, Max. Do it.
All yours, sister.
It's fine, I did it. You can tell I've not played this class before. I've played Rogue loads of times. I've not really played Archer. I've not really done the twin blade approach.
Come back here! One less to worry about! One less to worry about! Victory!
The combat, as you can see, is a lot smoother in this game, but at the same time it's a bit more janky. That was quick.
There's no end to them.
They're like football hooligans.
Bullshit. That's not what really happened.
Does that not match the story you've heard, Seeker?
I'm not interested in stories. I came to hear the truth.
What makes you think I know the truth?
Don't lie to me. You knew him even before he became the champion.
Even if I did, I don't know where he is now.
Do you have any idea what's at stake here?
Chips.
Let me guess. Your precious chantries fall into pieces and put the entire world on the brink of war. And you need the one person who could help you put it back together.
The champion was at the heart of it when it
More
all
than
began.
likely.
If you can't point me to him, Tell me everything you know.
You aren't worried I'll just make it up as I go?
Not at all.
You'll need to hear the whole story.
Yep. Good news about this game is the narration is coming from the best character in the game, so it's not terrible. And at long last, we've come to the character creation screen. Now, since this is the default and they actually have a default Hawk in mind, we can alter it to make it look more appealing to us, or we can just give the we can just let them have the preset. I'm just giving him a narration. You like that? You like that beard, don't you? I'm gonna go with the bald guy because it's more the customization is more manipulative. I could have chosen my words so much better than that, but I'll just stick with what I said. Let's darken you a little bit just to make you feel more human. I actually like that thing above the eye, maybe. I like the one that's just above the eye. I think I like the red there. Intense is fine. Let's give him some hair, please. That's horrible. Eh. That's the Alistair haircut. That's copying. I reckon for now it should be well groomed. I won't reveal why, but not amazing, but well groomed. Now he's not a monk. That'll do. That'll do for day one. I have a DLC in this game where I can actually customize my appearance as the story goes on, which is what I'll be making use of. Yeah, I'll give him an Amish beard, why not? Yeah, let's round out a little. I think a nice, neat little Amish beard, that'll do. Yeah, that'll do nicely. Give him a little stubble on top of that as well. Do. I think his eyes are fine as they are. Nose is fine as it is. Neck and ears. It's fine, I guess. Not gonna bother about it too much. Right. Give him a name. Tony Hawk, pro skater. Let's import an origin save. And we will upload the save data from our Dragon Age 1 playthrough, which is Freya the Dwarven Warrior. Which will be our canon events. And with our name, facial recognition and everything set up, it's time to start the official story of Tony Hawk, Rogue Extraordinaire and Pro Skater. I'll play on casual, like I said. I don't go for challenge runs. I'm more of a story guy. If you have a problem with that, then I'm afraid this is not the stream for you. Anyway, let's go.
The Blight had been unleashed on Ferelden. Darkspawn poured out of the wilds, clashing against the army at the ruins of Ostagar. The battle was a disaster. King Kalen died on the field with his men, betrayed by his most trusted general. Unopposed, the Horde marched on the village of Lothering. The village burned, and many innocents were slaughtered. The champion's family barely escaped in time.
I think that's all of them.
For the moment, Maker saved us. We've lost it all. Everything your father and I built.
I know how much Lothering meant to you, but we have to move.
Yes, you're right.
We should have run sooner. Why did we wait so long?
Why are you looking at us? We've been running since Ostagar.
Are you two insane? If we stand around, we'll die.
Please, listen to your brother.
Then let's go. Lead on.
Ironically for this character, he is... I normally play joking characters, but this guy's going to be, despite his name, no nonsense. He will throw a little quip here and there if it's necessary, but he's mainly going to be a no nonsense talker.
Now you meet your maker!
It's just giving me the DLC stuff, I'm afraid, so I'm sorry for the delay. And we have our first official level up, so we're going to have to do that right now. Obviously, we've got some changes to the stat menus as well. We still got our official stats of Strength, Dex, Magic, Cunning, Willpower, and Constitution. Dex as a rogue is very important. as is cunning. Basically, we skip straight past the attributes page because that's no longer a thing. They just automatically give it you, and you just go into your weapon skill trees, which, unlike in the first, is still a massive downgrade from the first game. We actually, I like the idea of actually quantifying the trees a bit, but at the same time, you get way less abilities than originally prescribed. I know be specking to this tree heavily because that's my normal play style, but for the first time in my life, I'll be doing this skill tree. You still have your tactics and resistances table, but you have a hell of a lot less options than you did in the previous game. But to be fair, 14 months is not that long to work on a AAA title, so you're gonna have to cut corners at some point. Here's your infantry menu. Just so we've got different things. I've got some bows picked up in case I want to go archery, which I normally would do, but I'm using this as an opportunity to try something different.
Wait, where are we going?
Away
To
from the
Isengard, to
Darkspawn, where
Isengard.
else?
And then where? We can't just wander aimlessly.
Yes, we can.
Wherever we go, what's important is that we don't separate.
We can go to Kirkwall.
What? Why would we go there?
There's a lot of Templars in Kirkwall, Mother.
I know that, but we still have family there, and an estate.
Then we need to get to Gwarin and take ship.
If we survive that long, I'll just be happy to get out of here.
Now we see blood!
Again, that was quick.
You will not have him! They will not have you. Not while I breathe.
Ah, someone new. Someone's leveled up. The twins have leveled up, that's good. For a mage, of course, magic and willpower are the most important things I should focus on. And here are the magic skill trees. Unfortunately, unless you're a player character or spec in a very specific tree, you can know. In fact, the player character can't spec into. Yeah, this game heal is under a specific tree, and there's only 2 variants of heal, which is not great. You can't spec into group healing unless you're the player character and a mage. Like I said, they've made a lot of cuts to the character, to the weapon
You'll make
trees.
it worse.
Apostate, keep your distance.
Well, the Maker has a sense of humor. Darkspawn and now a Templar. I thought they all abandoned Lothering.
The Spawn are clear in their intent, but a mage is always unknown. The Order dictates.
Wesley.
That woman is an apostate. The Order dictates.
Look, I know we can have
They
stuff other than
saved
ham and
us.
cheese and the
The Maker
toasty.
understands.
Of course.
I am Aveline Valenne. This is my husband, Sir Wesley. We can hate each other when we're safe from the Horde.
I mean, I know we can have things other than ham and cheese on a toasty and a Breville sandwich maker. But come on! It starts again. Yes, I haven't forgotten the Breville sandwich maker. We will continue using it.
A strange time to be hunting apostates. His fellows left with the Chantry priests.
I was traveling to Denerim on business for the Order, but I had to turn south when I heard of Ostagar.
Bad luck and judgment brought us together here before the attack.
The Nice Templar has been convinced to postpone his hunt for illegal mages. So let's not dwell upon it, shall we?
Wise girl.
For a while, it looked like we were the only ones to escape the Darkspawn.
We aren't free of them yet. Just like at Ostagar, this is just the start.
You were there. Yes, I see it now. Third Company, under Captain Varel.
Then you saw how the whole of the army was defeated.
We fell to betrayal, not the Darkspawn. This arm of the Horde will not have the same advantage.
Let me jog your memory, because it's been, what, 6 months since, well, 4 months or 5 months since the last time we streamed this? You remember the Battle of Ostagar, don't you? It was the very first session we did for Cordule Effect. Where one of the main villains of the first game betrayed the king, and the player character barely survived. That's what they're talking about. In the prologue for Dragon Age 2, we are referencing the prologue for Dragon Age Origins. Symmetry.
How bad is that wound?
I think my sword arm's a loss, even with healing.
Then you will have mine, as always.
For now, we move with you. North is cut off. We barely escaped the main body of the Horde.
Then we're trapped. The wilds are to the south, that's no way out.
I'm not running straight into the Horde. We go south.
Okay, can you hear me again? Can you hear me again on Twitch? Yeah, I had the first... It's begun again, everyone. The time where Cord Controller winks out and the entire stream is put on pause for 10 seconds. No shit. In this area, you can actually pick up a couple of goodies on the way, which will give you some more stats, but
I'll show them what I can do.
it's still very low level for this part of the game. Obviously, we're in sort of prologue. We have some One additional thing we have in this game that wasn't in the first game is a thing called stamina drought. At the bottom, non-mage characters have a thing at the bottom called stamina, which actually gives you the amount of points you can use for specific attacks or defenses or stuff like that. Just like a mage though, you have a potion where if you drink it, you get all your stamina back and you actually continue using those stats. That's one positive change that 2 is implemented. So, unlike in Origins, when you run out of stamina, you don't have to wait until it regains. You can actually drink a potion like a mage and get it back instantly. That's at least one positive change in this game. See, if we focus on the negatives, you're not being objective. Obviously, as you can see, Aveline is our first official... Other than the twins, Aveline is the first official party member that's not part of the Hawk family. And what other change from the games? You can equip items and weapons to every single party member, but only the player character can change their outfit. The party members have a set outfit, which you can't change throughout the entire playthrough of the game. You can get them stat ups from shops or loot stat ups for them on enemies during the course of the game. But in terms of their outfits stay static throughout the entire course of the game, except for one specific case.
Now we fight!
Here's our first. Obviously, you've seen the Darkspawn before, and the design change. You actually have different designs, obviously, from the previous game. Whereas it's just the Hurlocks now that actually look like regular dudes. They made emissaries that look like the arcane horrors of the previous game, but not as good. Or horrible. Ogres just look like ogres, really. I don't know what to describe them as. And I don't want to spoil the other variations because I want to let you see them firsthand on your own. I'm going to up my constitution a little bit to give me a little bit more health. And I'll up my willpower to give me more stamina. Aveline, as you can see, is going to be our tank for this endeavour.
Quickly, before they regroup, we must press towards the wilds.
And now that I am playing as a rogue, I can do something in this game that I've sorely missed being able to do in Dragon Age 1.
Set.
I can unlock chests myself. I don't have to switch to a party member and hope they actually have the skill to unlock the chest. I can just unlock the chest. It is so gratifying. Let's get you maximum heal as soon as possible. I don't really care what you do, really. Put you some gloves on because I found them. Ah, codec entry I'll read right now. Unlike in the previous game, they don't just give you a pop-up menu saying, hey, you've got this, go check the menu so you can read it. They actually give it you up front and in your face. Which, in a way, I can appreciate, but it can get a bit tiring sometimes. Anyway, for Kokari Wilds, it is set in the midst of the Black Age, when werewolves stalked the lands of Ferelden in numbers that kept every farmholder indoors, and a hound on every doorstep. A powerful Owl of the Almari people stood and declared that he would put an end to the threat. His Owling stood on the border of the Dark Forest on the southern border of the Ferelden Valley, and he claimed that the werewolves used the forest to launch their midnight assault on humanity. Get the witches, they'll sort it out. Wait, one second. Geralt can't solve this. For 20 years, the Owl led an army of warriors and hounds deep into the forest. In his hunt for the werewolves, he slew not only every wolf he came upon, but also every member of the chastened wilder folk. Any one of them, he said, could harbour a demon inside and thus be a werewolf in disguise. For 20 years the forest rang with screams and the rivers ran red. Tales say that an old chief and chastened woman found her sons all dead by the Owl's blades. She pulled one of those very blades from one son's heart and plunged it into her own chest, cursing the Owl's name as she did so. Where her blood touched the ground and mist began to rise, it spread and spread until it was everywhere in the forest. The Owl's army became lost, and it is said they died there. Others say they wander still. The ruins of his Owling stand to this day, filled with the ghosts of women waiting eternally for their husbands to return. The forest of the legend is, of course, the Kokari Wilds. There are as many legends about the Great Southern Forest as there are shadows, or so the saying goes. The chastened wilder folk have made their home there, since mankind first came to these lands. And the wildlands spread as far into the south as anyone has ventured. Beyond the mist are vast tracts of snow, white-capped mountains and entire fields of ice. It is a land too cold for mankind to survive, yet the chastened eke out an existence even there, and they tell of horrors beyond the wilds that the lowland folk could not begin to comprehend. To most, Ferelden simply ends with the Kokari Wilds. There is nothing beyond. The wilds is a land of great trees, wet marshes and dangerous monsters. What more needs to be said? From Land of the Wilders by Mother Alice, Chantry Scholar, of the year 918 Dragon. Everyone clap for our first codec entry. What the fuck are those clown trousers?
You soulless bastards!
Oh no! Brother that we only met 5 minutes ago!
Good! Let's get stuck!
One thing I will say about this game, it does get some emotional beats right later on, but this one, it feels like it should hit hard, but it doesn't really. Because to be honest, we've only known our brother for about 5 minutes, so it doesn't really have that emotional impact that they were looking for.
over. We're fine.
I'm sorry, Mistress. Your son is gone.
No. These things will not take Carver.
Carver gave himself to save us.
I don't want a hero. I want my son. How could you let him charge off like that? Your little brother. My little boy.
Mother, we can't stay here. Carver wouldn't want his sacrifice to be meaningless.
Allow me to commend your son's soul to the Maker, Mistress.
Wrap
Ashes
him
we
in
were,
cheese.
and ashes we become. Maker, give this young man a place at your side. Let us take comfort in the peace he has found in eternity.
With ham and cheese toasties forever.
I will never forget you, Carver.
Ashes to ashes, crust to crust. May this ham and cheese toasty in eternity taste as good for you as it did for us in the mortal realm.
At least Father will have company now.
Flames. We're too late.
Let's make this quick! Get back!
There's no end to them.
They're like football hooligans, again. Hey, we actually get to see more context this time. Max, I think there's a new challenge. The floor is dragon fire. It's like lava, but more fantasy-like. Oh, a familiar face. But a lot more gilfy. No, gilfy.
Well, well. What have we here?
Stop your Lando impression this instant.
It used to be we never got visitors to the wilds, but now it seems they arrive in hordes.
Impressive. Where'd you learn how to turn into a dragon?
Perhaps I am a dragon. If so, count yourself lucky. The smell of burning darkspawn does nothing for the appetite. If you wish to flee the darkspawn, you should know you are heading in the wrong direction.
Wait. You can't just leave us here.
Yes, she can.
Can I not? I spotted a most curious sight. A mighty ogre vanquished. Who could perform such a feat?
A player character.
But now my curiosity is sated, and you are safe for the moment. Is that not enough?
We won't be able to get through the Darkspawn on our own.
They are everywhere, or soon will be. Where is it you plan to run to, hmm?
We need to get to Kirkwall. In the Free Marches.
Kirkwall? My, but that is quite the voyage you plan. Your king will not miss you, hmm?
King Kalen was betrayed. There's nothing for me here.
I see. Hurtled into the chaos, you fight, and the world will shake before you. Is it fate or chance? I can never decide. It appears fortune smiles on us both today. I may be able to help you yet.
There must be a catch.
There is always a catch. Life is a catch. I suggest you catch it while you can.
Maybe we shouldn't trust her. I don't even know what she is.
I know what she is. The Witch of the Wilds.
Wrong
Some
letter.
call me that. Also Flemeth. Asha Belinar. An old hag who talks too much.
It's Fernandia. Wait, wrong setting.
Does it matter? I offer you this. I will get your group past the Horde in exchange for a simple delivery to a place not far out of your way. Would you do this for a Witch of the Wilds?
What is a Witch of the Wilds exactly?
A chastened legend. Witches that steal children.
Bah, as if I had nothing better to do.
You're an apostate?
Yes, just like you.
Maybe you can go on an apostate date with someone. But you're a bit too old at this point.
You would go through all that trouble to have something delivered?
I have an appointment to keep.
I have a doctor's appointment in 10
It is
minutes.
far more convenient this way. Happily, you're not without your own needs.
And by an appointment to keep, you may have a good idea as what she is trying to. You may have a good idea as to what she is rushing back for. My theory is this takes place in between the warden being injured at Ostergar and the warden waking up at Flemeth's hut to start the adventure. So this is happening while your Great Warden is unconscious, pretty much. She goes here, saves the Hawk family, and then flies back to her hut to greet the warden who's just waking up from her injuries.
How much trouble will this delivery be exactly?
About as much trouble as my saving your lives not 5 minutes ago.
That's a lot to ask without telling us what this involves.
It's nothing more dangerous than one so capable can handle.
Should we trust her?
Wesley is injured. We'll never escape the Darkspawn.
If you need to, leave me behind.
No. I said I would drag you out if I had to, and I meant it.
We don't have much choice.
We never do. There is a clan of Dalish elves near the city of Kirkwall. Deliver this amulet to their keeper, Marathari. Do as she asks with it, and any debt between us is paid in full. Before I take you anywhere, however, there is another matter.
No, leave him alone.
What has been done to your man is within his blood already.
You lie!
She's right, Aveline. I can feel the corruption inside me.
What are you talking about?
From the Darkspawn. All that blood. I knew when it happened.
And how much time before you?
Not long now, if I am any judge.
There must be something we can do.
The only cure I know of is to become a Grey Warden.
And they all died at Ostergar.
Not all, but the last are now beyond your reach.
In my hut.
Aveline, listen to me.
You can't ask me this. I won't.
Please. The corruption is a slow death. I can't.
He's your husband, Aveline. I can't decide his fate.
Be strong, my love.
This one's a little bit more impactful in my opinion, but still not that much impactful. Not by much.
Without an end, there can be no peace. It gets no easier. Your struggles have only just begun.
Flemeth,
I thought that might interest you.
you expect me to believe a myth swooped out of the wild to save the champion?
Oh, come now, Seeker. Do I need to recite the tale of the Warden as well?
No. Perhaps I shouldn't be surprised to hear of her involvement.
I liked my version better, too.
What else aren't you telling me, then? Did she send someone with the champion?
In a manner of speaking.
So it's true. Continue. But if you tell me they all flew to Kirkwall on a dragon...
Nothing so fanciful, I assure you. The witch kept her word, and got them to Guaran, where they took ship. They sailed north across the waking sea, lashed by terrible storms. 2 weeks they spent in that dark hold, packed in with the fearful and the desperate. And then they saw it. Kirkwall, the city of chains. Long ago it was part of the Imperium, slaves coming from far and wide to work the quarries. Now, it's a free city, but I use the word loosely. Sail through those black cliffs and you'll see what the slaves of old saw. The gallows, welcoming you. That's where their ship landed, with all the rest.
Welcome to Detroit! And ironically, this is still a better ship docking animation than Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Welcome to Kirkwall. We will be here for the entire rest of the game.
They're not letting anyone into the city.
What? That can't be.
It's true. Look at them all.
They're Fereldans, just like us. Fleeing for their lives.
And they would throw us all back to the wolves. Unbelievable.
Getting into the city, one way or another.
We need to find Gamlen. Our family has always been highly regarded in Kirkwall. He can do something, I'm sure of it.
Let's hope he received your letter.
The guards seem to be reporting to that man. Perhaps we should speak to him.
Like I said, it's bound to happen once or twice. imagine ours has joined by this point. Yeah, well, we're only doing the prologue anyway, so I'm going to do a quick one this time. I'm not doing... No twitching about what you say. No chat. I am not doing a 6.5 hour... I am not doing a 6.5 hour intro, prologue stream this time. No.
Get back to the crowd, you lot. Trying to bully your way through won't get you into Kirkwall any faster.
But you do intend to let us in.
We have enough poor of our own in the free marches. We don't need you refugees piling up here like a middens heap.
I heard someone call this fortress the Gallows. Is it a prison?
Used to be. Back in the Imperial days. They kept slaves here until the rebellion. Now the Templars run it and use it to lock up their mages. Guess not much has changed. Huh?
Catch a break on this cutscene.
Are mages imprisoned here?
Well, no more than anywhere else. It's a circle of magi now. Magic is to serve man, not rule him. And mages are better locked up where they don't hurt anyone.
Hooray, extremism!
Why aren't we being allowed into the city?
If it were up to me, I'd bar the gates and let you find somewhere else to beg. But it's not. Some of you lot might have legitimate business in the city. So Knight Commander Meredith wants us to sort you all out. Most of you are getting right back on your ships, though.
That's a Templar title. Why would a city guardsman answer to the Templars?
We don't answer to her, but she's the power in Kirkwall. Don't know what would happen if the Viscount went against something she wanted, but he's sure never taken that chance.
There must be someone in charge I can speak with.
Yes, always the same story. You want in, talk to Captain Ewald. I'm just here to keep you refuse from climbing the walls.
Everyone, climb the walls!
What's happening? Why aren't they letting anyone in?
You can do it if you just
He's
believe.
Wesley based out of the Lothering Chantry. I don't remember ever seeing him there.
He served elsewhere. He was coming to find me at Ostagar. Were you familiar with every Templar in Lothering?
How else was I supposed to know when to run and hide?
Good point.
My children are sick. I've got to get in to find a healer.
What do you want? Money? I can pay you.
Gold faders won't make the city any larger.
Don't trust that shit. Where are we supposed to go?
I don't know, Sarah, but there's nothing for you here.
Welcome. I apologise for this. This is not a joke. This is a serious statement. Welcome to Ukrainian Simulator right now. It's a tragedy of our time. I hope.
Let us through, you flaming blighter. We're not staying in this pit.
Then get back on your ship and leave. Kirkwall has no more room for refugees.
The ship's already gone. We've paid good coin to get here.
You and half of Ferelden. There's nothing I can do. The city is full.
Okay, I'm gonna go talk to this pirate have a Yorkshire off, because I'm also from Yorkshire. A guard outside told me differently.
One of the guards said you were letting in people who have business in the city.
That's right. We've seen you let lots of people through.
Citizens and merchants that make it worth our while. I'll assume that you don't have any more coin than these gentlemen? We've been letting you Fereldans in for months. You're too late. There's no more room.
But we have family here. Doesn't that mean anything?
I've heard claims like that 1,000 times already, trust me. We'll find some ships to take you all back to Ferelden, eventually. Until then, you stay here.
Damn it, stop with the Sarah Brahman approach. We're not getting deported to Rwanda. It's illegal.
There must be someone else in charge we can talk to.
The city's been closed by order of the Viscount and Knight Commander Meredith, whose fortress you're standing in. But as far as you're concerned, I'm in charge.
Our uncle is Gamlen Amal. He knows we're coming. Surely someone could find him.
Gamlen? I know that name.
He's a nobleman here in the city. Our family has an estate.
A nobleman? The only Gamlen I know is a weasel who couldn't rub two coppers together. He comes back, I'll bring you to him. But I don't have time to...
What? You're gonna let them through?
I didn't say anything about...
We've been here for 4 days. They just got here. That's it. We're carving our way out of here. Men?
Congratulations! You are an idiot. They're often quite deserted as well.
I deny you!
It's too far!
Order will be restored.
Unbelievable.
Captain, are you all right?
I am, no thanks to you. Where is everyone? Go find them. I want this kept under control. You have my thanks. Look, I can't get you into the city. It's not my decision. But I'll find your uncle and bring him here.
9,000 years later.
It's been 3 days. This waiting has to end.
I'm sure it won't be much longer. Gamlen must still be looking for us.
And if he's not?
Wait, I think someone's coming.
You. This is the guy we came to see.
Leandra. Damn, girl. The years haven't been kind to you.
Gamlen.
Let me say up front, I wasn't expecting this. The Blight, your husband, dead. I'd figured you'd pretty much be Ferelden for life.
Oh, Gamlen. We came too late. My poor Carver didn't make it, and Drastic guide him.
Oh, Maker, save me. Leandra, don't drop this on me here. I don't even know if I can help you get in.
I'm more concerned about Mother. Can you get her in at least?
No. We stay together.
I was hoping to grease some palms, but the Knight
still
Commander's
during the
been
event of
cracking
the first
down.
game.
We're gonna need more grease.
But what about the estate?
This game came out.
Surely Father left something when he died?
Right, about the estate. It's, gone. To settle a debt. I've been meaning to write you.
This part, the prologue happens during the event of the first game.
I know some people who might
there
help.
There are some time skips in this game, which will make
you're
it
not
later.
too delicate about the company you keep.
But by the end of this game, we'll be what? 10 years, maybe 8 to 10. At the end of the game, I think we're 8 to 10 years separate from the event of the first game. But the prologue itself happens during the event of the first game, pretty much.
Mother said our family was wealthy. You really can't help us?
I am blighted helping. I've got 2 offers of work from people who've got the coin to open those gates.
I still can't believe you sold the estate. Gamlen, how could you?
Well, I didn't expect your blasted family to show up on my doorstep. I've got a nice place in Lowtown. You'll see, it'll all work out.
Pain from the amount of times he's had to stand up and sit down. He's having to stand up to turn his controller back on. It's just getting frustrating at this point.
We don't have any choice, do we? I need to get my family into Kirkwall.
I talked to my contacts, and I found some people who might be willing to pay your way into the city. The catch is, you and your sister have to work off the debt for a year.
A year?
It's the best I could do. Trust me when I say a bunch of refugees won't get a better option anywhere else.
We cut down dozens of Darkspawn and an ogre to get here. That has to count for something.
Unless you brought an ogre's head along on the boat, I doubt it. I managed to convince my contacts to come to the gallows to meet you personally. Mirren heads up the mercenary company, the Red Iron. They're looking for recruits. Fenril, I guess you might call her a smuggler. Either one of them can help you. All you need to do is find them in the courtyard and convince them you're worth the trouble.
Unfortunately, when he says smuggler, he doesn't mean the kind that have Wookiee co-pilots. He means the actual type of smuggler.
What do you think about this, Bethany?
We've come this far. I don't care who we work for, as long as it means we don't have to go back.
I'll let him describe the two people we're going to be working for, and I'll let the voice in my head decide which one we go for.
What kind of man is this Mirren?
He's a hired sword. What do you expect him to be like? I wouldn't bring him home for dinner or anything, but he's got a decent reputation. I wouldn't have asked him if I thought he'd cross you.
How dangerous is this smuggler's work?
Well, it won't be pretty working for her. She's a pretty small fish compared to some of the other thieves' guilds around here. But she's tough, she's fair, and she never deals in slaves or flesh.
So that's all we're going to get from him in terms of which ones to get.
Let's find them and see what they have to say.
Oh, Gamlen, I don't know about this.
It's a lot of coin, Leandra. Don't go expecting our name to carry the kind of weight it used to.
And what of me? I will not allow others to incur
There's
debts
no
on my
dialogue
behalf.
choice, it's
Can't see that it makes a difference. You look like a lady who can pull her own weight.
Then you'll come with us.
I have no real option. Thank you.
basically I just walk up to whichever one you prefer. You've got the mercenary is over there, and the smuggler is over there. But first, Kodak. Statues of tortured slaves fill the gallows courtyard, a ghastly memento of Kirkwall's history. 1500 years ago, Kirkwall was the Teventa Imperium's largest quarry, feeding the construction of the Imperial Highway. Ah! That wasn't part of the Kodak. Well, it very well could have been. The Imperium's hunger for expansion led to legions of slaves forced into working the quarry. When the Empire's construction phase ended, Kirkwall slid naturally into its new role as the capital of the slave trade, the gallows at its heart. The statues are not monuments to the suffering of slaves. Every inch and angle of the courtyard was designed by magisters bent on breaking the spirit of newcomers. Executions here took place daily, sometimes hourly, and corpses were hung from gibbets through the yard. New slaves trudging in from the docks saw what awaited them. When Our Lady turned her armies against the Imperium, the slaves of Kirkwall revolted and claimed the city for themselves. The gallows stood empty for 200 years, not to be reopened until the crowning of Divine Justinian I. The gallows transformed into the city again when the abandoned prison tower became the home of Kirkwall's Circle. From the Pursuit of Knowledge, the Travels of a Chantry Scholar by Brother Genitivi. You recognise that name, don't you? Brother Genitalia. Brother Genitalia. He did it again. So I can either talk to the mercenary captain, who's over here, or I can go talk to a smuggler who's hiding over there. What's your decision, Max? Yep. We're talking real smuggler, but we don't deal in body parts or slaves. That's the only good guarantee we've got. And the only guarantee we've got from the mercenary is apparently he's got a decent reputation, and our uncle, who, spoiler alert, we can't really trust all that much, says he doesn't think he'll betray us. It's either someone we can't trust but doesn't deal in slaves, or someone we don't trust who our untrustworthy uncle thinks won't betray us. The smuggler, I think from what I remember, the smuggler legit doesn't betray you, but there is a possibility of the mercenary betraying you. Alright, smugglers it is. It's been a while since the last time I did the smuggler's path, so let's do it.
Are you a Fenrir?
He must be Gamlen's nephew. Interesting. I don't know what he told you about us, but he certainly told us a great deal about you.
He didn't say anything about me, did he?
Enough to pique our interest, provided you can justify your uncle's confidence.
Well, to be honest, it's not really a big spoiler, because even from scene 1, from the way we saw him talking to his sister, you could tell the uncle's not very trustworthy.
How did you get to be one of my uncle's contacts?
Is that what he calls me? He owes us after that last big idea. If you turn out, though, we'll consider things even.
I'd like to know more about what we'd be doing for you.
I can be honest. We don't compete with the Thieves Guild, but we keep our fingers in a lot of pots. That said, we're not killers or slavers. Anything short of that, however, is fair game.
Do what you want, but this sounds fishy to me.
We can't afford to be choosy.
I hear getting us into the city isn't cheap.
If you're as good as your uncle claims, we're hoping you'll be worth it. After all, it's not every day we're offered an apostate's services.
Care to guess how she knows that?
It appears our uncle likes to talk.
The Templars in Kirkwall like to think they have all mages properly leashed, but when has that ever been true? We can keep them from taking notice while you're with us. Wouldn't be the first time.
Spoiler alert, I said that with sarcasm, not as a genuine question. It wasn't, it was more of a sarcastic, and you can probably tell who told her about the mage thing. You've got one guess, and your guess will be correct. So...
Tell me what you need done.
There's a merchant named Cavril, friend of the Templars, so they let him set up his little shop here in the Gallows. We supplied him in return for a piece of the take, but now he won't pay up. We can't go near him without him screaming for the guard, but you can. Get our money from him and you're in.
You know what? I will spoil real quick what the mercenaries ask you to do. As you've just seen, the smuggler quest is basically get some coin from a guy who isn't paying what he owes. I mean, fair enough. I don't like that sort of work, but at the same time, it's necessary. The mercenary job to get you into the city is go kill this guy the mercenary captain doesn't like. He doesn't give you a reason to kill him, he just says, I don't like him, kill him. Again, at this point we're desperate, so we can't be picky, but whatever.
I've already told you, I can't give you any more for them.
But that was everything we have. It's all we brought with us.
And I feel for you, Sarah, but it's the best I can do.
If they just let us into the city, I could get 3 times that price.
Myron?
Your business is done.
But... Oh.
Now then, what can I do for you, Sarah?
She didn't seem very happy with the deal you made.
What am I supposed to do? Buy every piece of furniture these people dragged with them?
I'm sure they'd rather not sell what little they have left.
My point is that I'm running a business, not a charitable order. I'm sorry.
I imagine the profits help with the guilt.
I didn't think there'd be any stores here in the fortress.
There are many merchants who come here right now who can't afford the bribes to enter the city. So the Templars suggested having someone set up shop, temporarily. And I am the lucky man.
You mean you paid your own bribes to be here?
If they allowed everyone to set up shop, this place would turn into a bazaar. Sadly, there's only so much I can do for those Fereldans. Poor sods.
I'm sure you're very broken up over it.
I meant you. Folks like yourself.
I believe you owe your business partners something.
Oh, I see.
Should I go tell the guards?
Not just yet. I want to hear this. So, Ethenril sent you to collect, did she? Too cowardly to do it herself.
Care to step in here?
Only because this toad deserves it. You have a choice. Pay, or I beat it out of you, and your men.
Hey!
Stay back. Just... take what's in the chest. Take it all. Now I'm getting out of here. Let those guards find someone else to buy Dogland junk.
I mean, I'd like to... I don't remember that happening, but I like doing it that way because she gets her gold, which means our mission is complete, we can get to the city, and we drive off a merchant who is extorting refugees. Win-win.
Here you go, as requested.
Will you look at that? Tell your uncle we'll make the arrangements. Welcome aboard.
Welcome aboard. Level up. Let's raise your constitution a little bit. And now that's done, we can go talk to Gamlen, and the prologue is officially over. We'll be getting into chapter 1 in a minute.
Any luck?
Yes, they've agreed to help us.
I'll speak to Ethenril and see when the bribes can be made. Wait here.
Then we made it. The voyage is over.
We'll see what happens when this debt is repaid.
If only Carver were here with us.
And Wesley.
Let's just see what happens. We have a long year ahead of us.
I'm just being realistic. I'm not trying to be mean.
Thus began the champion's first year in Kirkwall. Word arrived from across the sea that the hero of Ferelden had defeated the Blight.
Yay, the first game is finished.
But Lothering was destroyed. Kirkwall was the champion's home now. So he remained, paying off his debt, made a name for himself in the underworld. It was a busy year in the city. That's when the Kunari landed. A great storm had caught their ship and left hundreds of warriors stranded in the city, waiting to return home. That's also when the trouble began with the mages. The Templars had become very powerful under Knight Commander Meredith.
Hello,
but
Veros.
most
Hello,
importantly,
Hello
that's when I first met the champion.
Okay, hello there, new chat people. So, welcome to the official beginning of the game. We are now 1 year separate from the events of Dragon Age 1. That's our first look at the antagonists of the game.
No. Andraste's tits, human. You know how many people want to hire onto this expedition?
But we heard you're going into the deep roads. Surely you'll need all the help you can...
No. You're too late. Already done. This is a sort of venture that can make a man for life. I'm not about to take any chances hiring random humans.
We've fought and killed Darkspawn. How many of your hired men can say the same?
Get in line, human. Half of Kirkwall wants to be my best friend right now. You're looking for a quick way out of the slums, right? You and every other Ferelden in this dump. Find another meal ticket.
What are we supposed to do now? We've got nothing to stop the next person who tries to sell us out. This expedition was our last chance.
We've made a name for ourselves this last year. We'll find something.
We have to. We need coin, status, something we can hide behind. As long as we're just refugees, we're no one. Maybe Gamlen knows someone who can talk to Bartram for us.
Small spoiler warning for the rest of this game, but not really. I do have some DLC packs that give me some DLC armor. But for this playthrough to be more as authentic as possible, I'll just use the in-game armor I'll be getting throughout the game, just to save us some time, and not having to like spend 10 minutes about what outfit I'll be wearing for this chapter.
Gamlen is the reason we've been here for a year.
He got us into Kirkwall. We've been safe so far. We might as well ask. Otherwise, I don't know what we'll do.
Hey!
Really? We've been playing for 3 minutes. Hey, look, the narrator's actually part of the story
I knew a
now.
guy once who could take every coin out of your pockets just by smiling at you. But you don't have the style to work Hightown, let alone the Merchants Guild. You might want to find yourself a new line of work.
I like him already.
Off you go. How do you do? Varric Tethras, at your service. I apologize for Bartrand. He wouldn't know an opportunity if it hit him square in the jaw.
But you would?
I would. What my brother doesn't realize is that we need someone like you. He would never admit it either. He's too proud. I, however, am quite practical.
Voice in my head, and everyone who's not played this game, let me introduce you to Varric Tefrus, who is, in my opinion, the greatest character in the Dragon Age setting.
You're part of Bartrand's venture.
That's right. The deep roads wouldn't normally be my thing, but I can't allow the head of our family to go down there alone. So as you might imagine, I have more than a passing interest in this expedition's success.
What makes you so certain we can help? You know nothing about us.
Oh, on the contrary. You've made quite the name for yourself over the last year. The Coterie has been squeezing smugglers out left and right, and the only group to survive owes it all to you two. The name Hawk is on many lips these days. Not bad for a Ferelden fresh off the boat.
You must have heard of my sister as well, then.
Only a little. She is certainly welcome to come, but I'll leave that up to you.
Frankly, I'd rather you take the credit.
Madam, your secrets are safe with me.
Find out what he's offering. We need a way into this expedition.
You're going awfully far out of your way just to hire another guard.
We don't need another hireling. We need a partner. The truth is, Bartrand's been tearing his beard out trying to fund this on his own, but he can't do it. Invest in the expedition. 50 sovereigns and he can't refuse. Not with me there to vouch for you.
Why would you stick your neck out for a complete stranger?
I'd rather take a chance on someone with your reputation than head into the deep roads unprepared. And besides, we'd be your partners. I'm willing to give a little trust if you are.
It sounds interesting, but if I had any gold, I wouldn't need this job.
You need to think big. There's only a brief window after a blight when the deep roads won't be crawling with darkspawn. The treasure you find down there could set you and your family up for life.
It won't be easy, but it's a chance. I think we have to take it. Better to work our way into this expedition than sit around waiting to be thrown in the gallows.
We work together, you and I, and before you know it, you'll have all the capital you need. What do you say?
There might be nothing down there except darkspawn and rubble. How can you be sure we'll make a profit?
Well, Bartrand isn't grasping at strings. He's operating on some good information. Some of the deep roads are so old, even the Dwarves have forgotten them. We just need to get down there. Then Bartrand will lead the way. You and I will be there to handle problems.
It's not like I had anything better planned.
Perfect. Kirkwall's crawling with work. You set aside some coin from every job and you'll have the money in no time.
Maybe Aveline can find us some work. She's got a position with the city guard now.
We should talk privately when you get the chance. In the Hanged Man, maybe. I'll be there when I'm not with you. Now, let's go see what trouble we can stir up.
That's our interdiction as to where party members will be when not in the
Hightown,
party.
where the rich go to piss the...
And we have now officially begun Chapter 1. There's a couple of things I want to do. I'm not going to do any quests right now. There's a couple of things I want to do before we end, but more or less, apart from a couple of conversations, I plan to recruit Aveline, and I plan to go to the family home to show that off. And after that, that'll be the session. Varric is an archer. So I'll give you archery things. Like I said, for now, Aveline is in that building there, which is called High Town of Kirkwall. The High Town of Kirkwall. At the height of the Sevinter Imperium slave trade, Kirkwall's elite prospered beyond dreams of away. Avarice. Height of avarice. It took me a couple of tries to say that word, so sue me. Hightown was Hightown was built from the wealthiest slavers. For the wealthiest slavers. God damn it, English is failing me. It's Likely both. Its glitzy mansions rising atop a great wall of rock that borders on one side. Waking sea. Low town cowered on its other side until Kirkwall's slave rose to plunder and destroy Hightown's riches. Today, Hightown's prominent buildings are the keep, home to the ruling Viscount and the Chantry, home to the Grand Cleric and its city religious centre. Both are coveted estates that once housed wealthy magisters, rebuilt and converted after the uprising. Also written by brother Genitalia. I know his name's Genitalia, but I'll never stop calling him Genitalia.
That's ridiculous.
That is redonkulous.
You don't seem to like your brother very much.
And here I thought it took blood magic to read minds.
I had a twin brother, Carver. He used to nail my braid to the bed while I was sleeping. I never thought I'd miss him this much.
Sorry about your brother. Hey, you want mine? I got a spare.
That's sweet. That is actually pretty sweet. This is the Viscount's Keep. So I'll be exploring as time goes on. If you explore a bit, you actually get to unlock some things. You know what, I'll just collect them and just read them when we get back to the house. So that way we can do a big lore dump before we finish.
Not going to happen.
Sorry. One other side quest you can get is basically picking up random bits and bobs around the city, and you actually get a little area quest where you actually deliver those items to people who want them. You get a small amount of XP for it. It's basically got a ton of fetch quests, which is not really fetch quests.
You're getting mud on my floor.
Good luck getting in. I've been waiting all day.
Yeah, people up here can be pretty uppity in this chapter. And if we go down here, Aveline is standing just here.
Aveline.
Hello, Hawk.
General Aveline.
Been a while, hasn't it?
What? Oh, right. Sorry. It feels like we just talked. I've been keeping an eye on you. Information is one of the few perks of this job. Watch out for Bertrand. He's a son of a bitch.
Varric's right there. Don't call his mum a bitch.
You know I don't like it when you have people watch me.
Saved me camping on your doorstep. After what we went through to get here, well, you're no child, but I take care of my friends. The places they have me patrolling, I've got time.
Still having trouble? I thought you were past all that.
Lately, I don't know. I've been pushed out to some dead patrols. Maybe I stepped on someone's toes.
You can be forceful.
My charm, right? I should be able to go where I'm needed. In fact, I might have a job for you. Let me know if you want to do a favor for Kirkwall. Otherwise, I'm here if you need me. Maker knows I could use more satisfying work.
I'd like to do a favor for Kirkwall.
All right, Aveline. You have something worth doing.
My patrols may be empty walks in the dark, but there's something big coming up, and I could use you. An ambush, probably for a caravan, although I can't find any shipments that match up. Doesn't matter though. Highwaymen waiting for someone to rob. I'm putting a stop to it, my district or not.
You have a name? or anything else to go on?
Not important. If we show up and they attack, they're bad. Simple as that. I'll wager it's smugglers, though. Like I said, seems like an obvious trap for a caravan.
That's the theme of this chap. That is the theme of this last couple hour or two, isn't it? Every day I'm smuggling.
You've been nosing around outside your commission.
I have contacts, and they're complaining about a lack of meat. Thugs and such. Someone is hiring. And one or two were told to prepare for travelers. You want to be good at this job? You pay attention to what's missing, and when people arrange escape routes.
Seems like you'd want to share this with your fellow guards.
I will, if you sit on your hands. I'll send my alerts, and someone else will lead a patrol. But there's profit and influence to be had. You're my friend, so I'm offering.
Aveline, you've got yourself a partner.
I knew I could count on you. They're hidden up Sundermount, remote and rough, but we can make good time with a shortcut this side. And no, you can't run off and do it without me. I trust you, but I have to be there. You're acting on behalf of the guard.
So yeah, you're a guard hiring a smuggler to help catch smugglers. In a way, it's a good idea. I'll read all the codex when we get back to the house. There's a nice little final goodbye treat because we haven't done the lore dump yet, so
that should do it.
We have to do a custom reload lore dump at the end of this. Now we've been to collect Aveline.
Good luck getting in. I've been waiting all day.
I'm gonna go to this Hanged Man pub. To talk to Varric. It's happened again! Oh, my fucking knee! Let's carry on. Check, running lead, 1, 2, 1, 2. I think we're back. I've just switched controls at this point. Because sod my life. Anyway. Let's finish up this stream, shall we? Not long to go, I think, I assure you.
You show admirable restraint, Bethany.
For a mage, you mean?
I could also say for a hawk. But yes, for a mage.
You have a sword. Why aren't you killing someone right now?
Fair point. But I can put my sword down.
Believe me, I have tried.
We'll do the codex reading when we get home. Anyway, the pub is just here.
My favorite spot in the whole city. The taverns in Hightown are all owned by the Merchants Guild.
As you can tell, we have some radiant dialogue between companions, and sometimes Hawk himself or herself gets involved. So, Varric, you wanted to talk?
So, here's the thing. We need to find a way into the deep roads. Bartrand can lead us to the right place once we're down there, but we need a good entrance.
Any entrance would do, wouldn't it? Unless a dragon's sitting in it, I suppose.
We need an entrance that's close to our destination, but isn't already plundered or filled with darkspawn. Fortunately, I've received some new information. There's a Grey Warden in the city. If anyone knows how to get down there, it'll be him.
Why would a Grey Warden know that?
The Wardens don't just fight darkspawn. They forge into the deep roads all the time. And if he doesn't know, he might be able to point us to those who do.
We don't want trouble with the Grey Wardens, do we?
Let's look at our options first. I'd rather not fight a Warden unless we have to. Supposedly, this Grey Warden came in with some other Ferelden refugees not long ago. A Lowtown woman named Lorene has been helping the Fereldans. We talk to her. Maybe we learn where he is. I'll keep after my contacts, see if I can drum up any other work.
We'll explore the pub later.
Ferelden in the guard. What will they think of next?
You have a problem with that?
Me? My family's not native either. I'm just surprised. A lot of old prejudice in the guard.
I'll give them plenty of reason to change their minds.
You know, it's possible they're just scared shitless of you. That's my theory, anyway.
It's a good theory. Anyway, let's go to Hawk's house, where we can get the we can actually have a good look at where Hawk has to live in this chapter, get the codex read, and that'll be the end of the session.
Are you really not afraid of apostates? Not even a little?
Sunshine, I'm a dwarf, in case you missed that detail.
Dwarves aren't completely immune to magic, you know.
No. I meant there are at least 30 people in this town who'd murder my family over trade deals. Who has time to worry about apostates with a merchant's guild breathing down your neck?
In that case, I see.
Anyway, this is the Citadel where Hawk finds himself in Chapter 1.
Hard to believe they left me nothing.
Well, Mother was pretty steamed when you ran off with your Ferelden apostate.
I'm still their daughter, their eldest.
We have some letters here. Hawk, you may be interested in something that's come up. A contact of mine, a fellow by the name of Anso, is asking around for someone competent regarding a job, and I suggested you. He's always paid well, so if I were you, I'd check into it before someone else stamps it up. He said he'll be in Lowtown Bazaar at night, ephemeral. Another thing about this game is you get sometimes you get letters that'll give you side quests. Hawk, your year's up and you're free to go. Despite what you think, we had a good thing working together. I might pass along an opportunity or two if you're willing to get your hands dirty. Stay safe, ephemeral. Greetings. You don't know who I am, but I have heard of you. I understand you might need items from my collection, as well as a means to obtain them. I do not extend this invitation to anyone, but you are not simply anyone, are you? Consider this an invitation to the Black Emporium. Enclosed are directions through the passages underneath the city, and as is the charm to enter. If you give the charm to another, its permission will immediately be revoked, and the consequences will be unpleasant. Adieu, Zed. That's going to be the DLC I use to change my character's appearance and have a look at the store. We have a dog.
He wasn't like this in Lothering. I think he misses the open fields.
City life not agreeing with you?
Poor thing. Maybe he'd be happier if we brought him with us more often.
But if he's with us, who'd keep Gamlen's debt collectors away?
Take it. I'm sick of what's-his-name staring and panting.
Gamlen, honestly, a Mabari understands what you say. Try using his name.
What's wrong with dog? Real easy to remember.
Midrash! It's not all his fault, really.
My children have been in servitude for a year. They should be nobility.
If wishes were poppy, we'd all be dreaming.
This is the way things are, Mother. Gamlen can't change it now.
Your mother was supposed to marry the Comte de Launcey, and instead she ran off with some Ferelden apostate. You don't get to stay the favorite when you do that.
Where is Father's will? If I could just see for myself.
It's not here, all right? It was read, it went in the vault. No one needed to look at it again.
Did Grandfather mention Mother in his will at all?
Our father died when you were still in short pants, lad. You can hardly expect me to remember.
Sounds like a yes to me.
That touched a nerve. What's in there that you don't want us to see?
Nothing. But you won't be seeing the bloody thing. It's still locked up on the estate, and that's long out of my hands.
You didn't take your parents' will?
It was old news. You think I've been sitting here for 25 years waiting for Leandra to slink back?
Who bought the estate, Gamlen? Perhaps I could speak to them. Was it the Reinhardts?
No one you know. Get used to Lowtown, sister. That's where we're going to stay.
I always wanted to bring you children back to meet your grandparents. Now, I wish
Get
I could
out of
stay
my
in
face!
Ferelden.
Your mother's bad enough. I don't need you nagging me.
The house won't clean itself, Uncle.
I always wanted to bring...
So, I hate thinking badly of family. But did Uncle Gamlen seem a little slippery when he talked about Grandfather's will? If he, say, invested money that was meant to be Mother's, do you think he would tell us?
Gamlen can't say good morning without lying twice.
Mother's been in such a fit of melancholy since Gamlen told her how angry her parents were about Father. She told me she wishes she'd died with Carver. It's like coming here ruined every good memory of her childhood. I wish we could get some of it back.
We need to get that will.
Good. I'm glad we agree. Gamlen told me he gave the estate as payment to some slaver who beat him at dice. Apparently, our ancestral home is now a base for slavers from all over Thedas.
How could Gamlen let that happen?
I think there's a reason Mother didn't talk about him much. Seriously, though, those scum have no right to our family's things. We should break in there. Get the will for Mother. I already talked to both of them about this. Gamlen said they guard the front entrance well. But Mother gave me her old key. She said it should unlock the cellar. Apparently the sewers run right beneath the house.
Right. That's all there is to that. If we go into this room, we get access to DLC armors and DLC equipment and also some DLCs. Clicking on those will launch us onto DLC. And let's go into the codec. I hope the voice in my head is still there. Those are all the rumours we'll get, which could lead to side quests. These are all our main quests that we have so far. We've got some companion side quests. We have some DLC quests. And we have those miniature side quests. We've already read about them. Lowtown Kirkwall. I'm gonna double check something. Voice in my head, Max time, you still there? I can't hear you if you are. Let me double check something. He's still there. I hope you can hear me because I think he's muted. Lowtown sits in a massive cauldron-shaped pit that was once Kirkwall's first quarry. The district was constructed by slaves who carved the city and its harbour out of the rock. Oh no, he's left. Oh no, he's rejoined. Today, Lowtown is a labyrinth of shanty towns, corridors, and hexagonal courtyards. Can you hear me now, Max? I can't hear you. If you hear me, please say so. I can't hear you. Hexes in the local parlance. Lowtown's poorest living caves hewn out of the cliff face. The district is shoddily built and bears scars caused by collapsing walls. Foundry smoke smothers the area, only a cold winter storm clears the air. But the icy wind howling over the mouth of old mine shafts hardly counts as relief. Occasionally, these dark town shafts erupt with gouts of foul air known as choke damp. It's not uncommon to find whole slums silently suffocated, frozen in the midst of everyday activity. Max time is rejoined the chat. The walls surrounding Lowtown are highest by the harbour. Hello, Max, say something so I can hear you. I can hear you. I can't hear you. Can you hear me? Its busiest streets lead up to Hightown, where the wealthiest Kirkwallers perch. When one stands in Lowtown, all one sees, other than the rocky walls is Hightown. It glitters overhead, always in sight, yet always beyond reach. By Brother Genitalia. Can you hear me much time? I can't hear you if you're saying anything. Kirkwall once lived at the edge of the Winter Imperium. And was home to nearly 1 million slaves. You're in the chat. I've read your message, Match, but I can't hear you. Are you having issues with your microphone again? He's having bad internet issues. Anyway. How can you hear me? Let me finish, you! Please let me finish! I just want to finish the game! You a little bit again. Need to let the game to let me finish the game. Ow, my knee. Stolen them from Elven lands or shipped them across the sea. Hull slaves fed the Imperium's unquenchable thirst for expansion. I've heard you in little bits. Can you say something again? To make sure I can hear you. Just to check, I did hear you briefly a couple of times, but I can't hear you again. They worked in massive quarries and sweltering foundries that produced stones and steel for the Empire. The city's complicated past is not easy to forget. History having embarked many corners of the Stone City. A ship approaching the harbour spots the city's namesake, an imposing black wall. It is visible for miles. And carved into the cliffside of a pantheon of vile guardians representing the old gods. Over the years, the Chantry has affected many of these profane sentinels. The faith of many of these profane sentinels. It will take many more years to erase them. Also carved into the cliff face is a channel that permits ships into the city's interior. Flanking the channel are two massive bronze statues, the twins of Kirkwall. The statues have a practical use. Kirkwall sits next to the narrowest point of the waking sea, and a massive chain net can be erected between the statues and the lighthouse, closing off the only narrow navigable lane. This stranglehold on sea traffic is jealously guarded by the ever-changing rulers of the city as the net tolls tax. It says, tolls and extortions in from the sea. My brother Genitalia. You know what? At this point, with how much I've been winking in and out with my controller and we're having issues with Discord right now, I think now is a good time to stop and make our first save game. We've been playing for roughly 2 hours, so I think it's a good time to stop. So while I do some background stuff and finish off, this'll be it for the stream today. Thank you for watching, and next week we'll officially start chapter 1. So I will see you next time.